Hello there, welcome to Midwest Melodies. Oh, are you the one that called earlier? Okay. Yeah, I know you were calling about setting up an appointment to have a lesson, and it turns out that this is your lucky day. A half-hour slot just opened up for a lesson, so do you have time? Okay, good. Well, let's get your information first for our records. What's your name? And your email address? And your phone number. Yep, area code first. Good. Okay, if you'll follow me into the back, we can get started. Okay, so I know you said you've had some piano, so we'll just do a quick review, and then we'll get started on some scales, you'll learn a few chords, and by the end of the lesson, hopefully you'll be playing a song. So we'll just do a quick review. You should hold your hands like this, and I want you to count with me, starting at this finger. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and pinky is 5. Now for your left hand, you have 1 is pinky, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is thumb. So when I ask you to put your left or right hand and then I say a number 1 through 5, you'll know which finger I'm talking about. So really quickly, I'm just going to take this dry erase marker and label the notes from C to this C. And I want you to remember that we're only going to be using white keys on this lesson because the black keys we'll just use for reference to which white key we're going to use. We'll talk about that black keys next lesson, but for right now, this is C. It's the white key that is immediately to the left of the group of 2 black keys, so we'll label that C. Then the next one is D, and the next is E. After that is F, and then G, A, B, and C again. So what we're going to do is just use our right hand for now and play. Put your thumb 1 on C, and just get used to how that feels. Then use finger 2 for D, 3 E, and so on. Now I want you to play 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Next we'll play a scale. So this involves using all 8 of these keys, but you only have 5 fingers. So what you'll do is you play 1, 2, 3. Then I want you to take 1, your thumb, and tuck it under to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And likewise on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, like that. That's the fingering of the C scale. So play it with me. And back down. Good. Now we're going to learn with our left hand, and I will use this octave, starting on finger 1. Again, do it with me this time. And back down. Very good. Now we're going to learn how to do easy chords. This is called a C triad. You put your 1 on C, 3 on E, and 5 on G. And you play them all at the same time. Strike the keys simultaneously like this. Good. That's a root position C chord. Next week we'll learn first inversion and second inversion. But for right now, leave it there. Now, when you're in the key of C, your tonic chord, or your home bass, is C triad. But oftentimes when you hear a song, you'll hear different chords being played that are in relation to your tonic, which is in this case C. For example, F as a relation to C as the subdominant. You'll often hear that. C to F. That's called the subdominant. And the dominant is G, which sounds like this. Not like that, like this more. That's nice and soft. And you can hear this leading tone wanting to go to C, so when you play this chord, the natural resolution is. So, when we learn our song, we'll just be using these 3 chords: tonic, subdominant, dominant, and tonic again. Let's write some of this down so we can remember it better. So we have tonic, spelled C, E, and a G. And in root position, these are all 1, 3, and 5 for fingering. Subdominant, which in this case is F, A, C. See how they have one that's shared. And then dominant, which in this case is G, B, D, C. It's pretty. Let's show you that a little closer. Tonic, subdominant, and dominant. Good. Now that you have that written down, I'll erase it. So I'm going to erase these now that you've had a refresher. Now I'd like to hear your C scale. Go ahead and play it for me. Good. And back down. Excellent. You're picking it up really quickly. So, put your 1 and 1 for both hands on C and rest them in the root position triad for C. and just go ahead and strike that chord. Good. Now, it's really difficult. This is one of the most difficult things about playing piano, but having your left hand and your right hand play different things. So what we're going to do is play a simple song, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and you're going to use your left hand to play what are called block chords, and your right hand to play the melody. I'll remind you of the melody of Mary Had a Little Lamb. It's very easy. It starts off with the third of the chord, which is E. So you play 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. Good. You may only need to use 2 different chords. Now, here's something I should have mentioned earlier, but when you're playing chords like this, sometimes it's easier, instead of going from here to here to here to here, it's easier to move your left hand as little as possible. So, I'm going to teach you what's called the closest position chord. So, remember when I was talking about inversions? Well, if you think about, in relation to C, what is the closest position for your fingers to move to that still plays the same 3 notes in the chord? So you have G right here is G, B, D, but this is also G, B, D, G, right? That's the first inversion. And if you remember where C is, 1, 3, 5, then you can do 1, 2, 5, like that. And just move these 2 fingers down 1. Try that with me. C, G, C, G, tonic, dominant. Good. So we'll do that in the left hand now. Then you're going to take 1, 3, 5. A little bit different because this is a little bit easier to move these 2 fingers than it is to move these 2 fingers. These 2 fingers are pretty close together. So it's easier to play 1, 3, 5 in this left hand, but it's easier to play 1, 2, 5 in the right hand. So, with your left hand, play very good. Now, if you remember the melody, I'll play it one more time. Little lamb, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as broccoli. Sorry, I don't know why I always sang that when I was a little kid. It's Snow, of course. So, on the downbeat of each measure, you'll play a block chord like this. Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. So that's a lot for right away, but just take a few times and practice it, and I'll play it with you once, and then you'll do it alone, okay? So do it with me this time. Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Good. Now do it alone this time. Mary had a little lamb, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Nice work. Alright, that's all the time we have for today. but make sure to stop by next week, same time, same place, work for you. Alright, see you next time.